So I get into a fight my first year out with some active fool that was tripping off me for being a dropout. He whoops me. Uh, Police come. I got his ID and shit, right? I found his ID on the ground. They're like, "This him?" I'm like, "Nah, I think they might have even caught him, but they let him go or whatever because I said that's not who I fought." But anyways, uh, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? I get into a fight with another active. Whoop him. Now I'm looking at years in prison, bro, and it's crazy, bro, because I'm like, man, like I most definitely didn't think he was gonna do that, but I'm like, man, he could have at least told the cops that he provoked me and took off on me and was like trying to punk me, and then I whooped his ass. He didn't have to tell the police that I just whooped his ass, because that's on the report. It doesn't look like a fight ever took place. It just looks like I beat him down. Like, what? Like, hell no, I didn't want to fight. The fuck?
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a homeboy with the EBT habit. Buy up, buy up. They broke my EBT card. Well, now they broke his spirit. It's all bad. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled. So this is becoming a reoccurring theme, right? The dropout gets into another fight. Hey, not only did they break his EBT card over his head, spill the whole Pepsi, knock over all the milk, right? Now, this man got into 2 more incidences and he's facing a whole bunch of jail time. I've been keeping up with this guy. He's a TikToker, right? And I respect his get down. And I'm going to explain to you why. You got a lot of prison content creators that tell you stories, war stories about incidences that they were involved in. You know, people like Wes Watson, right? That never take a L. I mean, superhuman fucking superheroes. You know, Supergirl. These guys are the Ninja Turtles. They fucking win with a piece of pizza in their hand. They just never lose. They beat up shot callers. They take over yards. They're going to get their fucking hands dirty like the rest of us, brother, right? They just win all the time. But what I like about this individual is he talks about his L's and his W's. And with that being said, you know that his stories ring true because he's not going to sit there and boast and brag and glorify and say, hey, bro, fucking, I was just handling business on everyone. He'll tell you when that dude hit me like thunder and nicknamed me lightning, right? You know, because I went bzzz. And he'll tell you the stories about when he creates chaos and handles his business. Now, it's so unfortunate that someone who made a decision to get away from gangbanging. Now, and look, I'm trying to hook up an interview with this individual so he could tell us his story, what happened to him. You know, I think I owe it to the people. People are interested in this guy, according to the video yesterday. So we're going to find out exactly how he ended up becoming a righteous dropout, right? And what his story is all about, because everyone has a different story. But I actually got in correspondence with him, and he told me about this. So we all know about the notorious Walmart fight where he lost his EBT card yesterday, right? That right there is an unfortunate situation. God forbid he goes get a job, right? Fuck that. You make too much, right? You need that $159 of EBT. I get it, man. Hey, them Hostess fucking cupcakes ain't going to buy themselves. Right? Straight up. EBA, I ain't gonna lie. A steak hits different on EBT. It just does. You know, oh, steaks are better with day one sauce. No, they can't fuck with a steak on EBT. Put a little EBT on it, and I bet you that'd be the best steak you ever had in your life, right? So this guy was telling me a story about when he first got out. Now, when you first drop out of a gang, you know, and you're still living in your area, everybody knows already. You can't hide it. You can't go back to your neighborhood and act like, oh, nah, bro. Oh, you heard that? Nah, that's bullshit. Nah, you have to be on your toes because now you have a whole bunch of dudes that were your homeboys that know where you move, that know where your family is, that knows how you wiggle. They know your whole get down. They're looking for you. They're hoping that they see you so they could approach you in a whole different manner. There's not going to be no more hugs. It's going to be mean mugs and shoulder shrugs, right? You're not invited to the 4th of July firework party. There's going to be fireworks, but you're not invited, right? So when you are a dropout, you have to move differently. You have to understand that, you need to change the rhythm of your life. You need to start doing different things, dressing different, acting different. Now, never forget who you are or what you came from. I don't, but don't go out there gang banging and still acting like you're feeding me and you're cool, because you might be a cool guy. You might be a good fella, right? But according to the gang, you are now ostracized and you are a piece of shit, is what they call us, right? I need deodorant because I stink, right? And that's just what it is. So he told me another story that when he first got out, and it was similar to my story, and I'm going to reiterate a little bit of mine real quick. But when he got out, he ran into a homeboy, a northerner, when I say homeboy, right? That was active, that was fully with the business. And they end up fighting at a store, right? And this guy, look, ban this dude from all stores. Bro, stay the fuck out of Walmart. Go to Target. It's a little bit more expensive, but they do accept DBT, I think, right? So you'll be all right. This dude went to the store and he runs into a Norteno who immediately recognizes him. And it's not hard to recognize this guy. This guy got the Sacramento King symbol over his head. And I think he's from the town of Linda. I've never asked him yet, but I'm pretty sure, he looks like a homeboy I knew once upon a time, Wolfie from Linda. Could be the same guy, maybe not. But anyways, he goes to this store, is recognized by this Norteno. And according to him, this Norteno puts every inch of fingertips and toes on him, right? Stomps him out, smashes him, beats him up. Hey, man, you win some, you lose some. You can't, it just is part of the game. The dudes like Wes Watson and other content creators that are like, oh, I fucked this dude up and I fucked that dude up. Subtract that. Strike that, reverse it, right? They got Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. They got their chocolate fucking cream pie melted. I guarantee it, right? But according to them, that never happens. They always win because they're born winners, So this guy admits that he gets his ass whooped. Now, during the fight, according to him, dude dropped his ID and he picked it up. Now, cops came to the incident. I'm sure people at the store called the cops. You got two dudes fighting, two Mexican dudes fighting. It's a big deal, right? And so when the cops come, this guy had plenty of action at saying, hey, this is the guy who did it. Look, I got some shit right here. He lives on fucking 1414 fucking super active drive, right? He could have did all that. But instead, allegedly, and according to him, he just, hey, I don't know, man. Oh, this is my fucking homeboy's ID, whatever, slid it in his pocket and just kept it pushing. Didn't have anything to say. Who'd you fight with? You know what I'm saying? That dude from fucking, I know what you did last summer. Like he was a ghost. I don't know, Ghostface. And so, and if you believe that story, you believe that story. Now, of course, there's going to be people, he fucking told on old boy. Well, according to him, old boy never went to jail, never did no time. It just was what it was. They had an interaction. Cool. Now, before we get into the next part of what else happened to him where the game changed, I'll tell you something about me. When I first got out, when I was non-active, it was different, right? It was way different. I was always used to being embraced. Like I'm a homeboy. Homeboys throwing parties. They're all happy. What's up, homie? Some homeboys I didn't run into for a while, but I could carry my head high in the neighborhood. When I first got out, I was fearing what was going to go on. I wasn't fearing getting killed. I wasn't fearing getting into it with homeboys. I was fearing how they were going to look at me. I was embarrassed, right? Very embarrassed because I was pushing a hard line when I was out, like fuck DOs and this and that and this and that. And now here I was considered one, right? And I know there was a lot of homeboys that were let down. They were upset, but they were let down more. They were like, no way, not him, right? Yes way, him. You know what I mean? Hey, Puro Jalisco way, him, right? So I went to the parole office, and the old parole office, the way it was they didn't separate anyone, right? Which I think the whole separation thing is like a Target thing because it's worse. But they didn't separate no one, so you would have active gang members there, dropout gang members there, like just whatever your day fell on to see a parole officer, hopefully you could slide by, or hopefully, you know what I mean, or you can't. And it was about to be an ass whooping in the parking lot, or at least some hands thrown, right? So most dudes that are dropouts are smart. They'll go with a few homeboys, a few family members or whatever. Hey, wait in the parking lot for me. I'm going to go in, handle my business, come out, do my little piss in the cup, come out, and we'll get on. And if any motherfuckers want it, we can give it to them. And so I wasn't thinking that way because, mind you, this was all new to me. I was thinking, go to the parole office. Ain't nothing going to happen at the parole office. I mean, did nothing happen to Chito Ranas at the parole office, huh? Didn't nothing happen to him other than a northerner came up and clowned on him a little bit, but he just went like that at the probation office. So I wasn't even tripping. And I went in there, and immediately as I sit down, there's a homeboy. He's from a different gang, but I know him, right? And to be totally honest with you, he wasn't nobody before I got locked up. Like, he was one of the homeboys that would just come around, but he wasn't like a threat to anyone. Like, he was one of the homeboys you fucked with and shut up, fool, right? But he was down, and, you know, he'll handle business, but he wasn't like, oh, this motherfucker's going to go tie you up and shit. Nah, nothing like that. But he sees me, and I see him as soon as I sit down, and he looks, and I guess he had just got out too, or he'd been on parole for a while. He's like, hey, what happened in Susanville, bro? First thing he says to me, right? And I'm not going to sit there and explain myself like a poop butt. I was just like, you already know what's up, right? He said, that's right. Now, mind you, same thing happens on the way back, right? But let me explain to you. So I'm like, hey, you guys already know it is what it is. He's like, yeah, we all know, bro. He was like, it's fucked up, right? He was like, man, I ain't tripping. Well, what I didn't know is he had some younger homeboys from this gang called M Street outside, right? And these were like little striving young Nortenos ready to do whatever they had to do. So they're out there waiting in the parking lot. I bypassed right when I passed them. I didn't even trip on them, right? Thought they were in line, whatever. Bam, I go and see my pro agent. It is what it is. Pissed. They run me down, go get a job, all that. So as I'm coming out, he's not in the fucking waiting room. So I'm thinking, oh, he's in there with this parole officer or whatever. Because I was going to tell him, all right now, bro. Because no matter what, I still had that fire in me. Like, I still considered Nortenos the homies, even though I knew what time it was. It's hard to let go, right? At that time. So as I walk out of the parole office, he's right there. Like, you walk out, the old parole office was over by this thing called Rollerland, a skating ring, right? And it's in the cuts. And you walk out, and I got to walk down the street. I don't got no car. I'm on foot, right? I'm waiting on my tío to come pick me up. But he's all mad because I'm a dropout at that point. He's like, fucking fuck you, fool. He's all active, right? Until a couple months later. But anyways, so I walk out, and I called him, come pick me up. And he was like, nah, fool. I ain't trying to go over there and be seen with you and shit. Like, damn, you're cold-blooded. Motherfucker, you're the one who taught me all this shit. So as I come out, they're right there, and I see him. And he's telling the youngsters about me, like, right? And so one of them was like, fucking D.O. And I should have just kept pushing because I had that coming. I mean, he wasn't lying, right? But I'm just walking. I'm the old me's coming to the surface. I mean, fuck these punks, bro. I ain't no fucking sucker, right? So I turned around. I said, what? He said, you heard me. I said, fucking D.O. I said, yeah, you can't. This is a D.O. you can't fuck with, though. That's the thing. They're like, what's up? They immediately rushed me. And I'm not going to lie. My back still hurts, right? Motherfucker was kicking me in the back. I was getting paid. But man, they got down where they were mad at, right? I can't use the word get off because some chick put a fucking comment in my thing. Why do you always say get off? Well, that's just the slang we use, man. Get off where you're mad at, right? But she was like, that sounds risky. It sounds like some weird shit, right? It's not. Anyone that knows this. We say, man, get off then, huh? Right? We don't mean like get off then, right? But that's weird. I'm a he, him. So anyways, I get jumped on. So I could identify with running into people. On the way back, my uncle never comes to get me. I call him. I'm like, I just got jumped. And I was like, well, that's what you get. So I'm on my way to his house to fucking put hands on him. I'm mad. And I run into another homeboy, right? Who's a righteous Norteno, just beat a murder rap recently. I was in Mexico with this cat. Like, he's a real northerner, right? In the mix, like a motherfucker, political. And he's in a green SUV coming this way. And I'm walking, right? On feet. And that motherfucker hits the reverse quick. I'm like, oh, I've barely been out for 16 hours. I'm about to get killed already. And he pulls up on me, he rolls his window down. He's like, what's up, homie? Right? Now, this is my boy who would have been like, fool, what's up? Jumped out, did 2 cartwheels, a backflip, gave me a high five, a hug, took me to Wiener Schnitzel for a glizzy. Like, he would have been the one. He was like, what's up with you, bro? What happened? And I'm over here with lumped up, Willie lump, like, I just got jumped. I'm like, I just got jumped. He's like, man, fuck that. What happened in Susanville? I said, look, bro, you already know what happened. He said, yeah, me and all the homeboys, we're going to get at you. I said, man, fuck that. I'm ready to fight again. You can get at me right now. He said, nah, we'll all get at you. That was his little threat. We're all going to get at you, right? I said, well, fuck, man, do it one at a time at least because my back hurts, right? So anyways, he just peeled off, left me walking like the scum of the earth he felt I was. I guess I was. And I made it. I made it to my uncle's. My uncle's like giving me the 3rd degree. Well, that's what you get. You should have just stood strong with the Norte because, you know, I'm Norteño, rifamos, controlamos, con salvo todo. This is motherfucking bean. He was all northern now. I'm like, listen, bro, you got Advil. That's it. That's all I need to know. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's active or dropout Advil. It works the same to me. It's still pura. Anyways, so I could identify with getting your ass whooped and people hitting you up and having to be on your toes. From that point on, I did get hit up a few other times, but I was always ready. Always. This dude, this is what happens recently from what he tells me, right? Again, Walmart is the death of him. Bro, go to the dollar store, right? Stop going to Walmart. He goes to Walmart and he runs into a dude from his neighborhood, right? Who's pretty well known. And so he knows right now, and it's always going to be when you're considered a dropout, it's going to be dudes that are usually from your neighborhood because they already know what's up with you. Other dudes, they just see another northern, they'll be like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, they don't even trip. Some dudes might be like, you active nowadays? But most don't, right? And so this dude runs into his homeboy who already knows what time it is, knows his story, which hopefully when I do the interview, we can find that whole story out. But if he agrees to it. But anyways, this dude ain't going out like that, right? This dude hits him up, says some disrespectful shit to him, and this dude takes flight like, fuck it, which I could understand. I'll get into another story in a minute. So this dude fucking boom, 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 gets the upper hand, smashes this dude, drops all his groceries. You got celery, you got ham hock, you got chitlin. The motherfucker, he was gonna make some soul food, right? He's got all these groceries are on the ground. This dude's putting the beaters on him, right? Smashes them, goes about his way because this motherfucker needs Hostess cupcakes. And as he's going down the aisle 9, thinking about all the zoos and wham-whams he's going to buy with his EBT card, his new and improved EBT card, the active dude calls the cops on him, right? Cops come, and instead of the active dude saying, oh, it was a mutual combat, we just fought. No. He says, this dude assaulted me. This dude beat the hell out of me. This, and that. After he approached the dude, according to this guy didn't even want to fight, bro. He just was he's just trying to live, do his thing, right? But that's part of the game. See, there's levels to the game. And one of the part of the game is that when you're not active anymore, you drop out, you're still in your area, you're still, mobbing around with these tattoos that are not covered up on you. Motherfuckers are going to feel some type of way about that. Straight up. There are some dropouts that will fall back or they'll drop out or they were never dropped in or whatever, right? And fools see him all the time and they're like, he's not a threat, man. As long as he's just doing his own thing, we don't care. And then there's some that they just decide they want to get him every chance they get. Because they know that dude was a threat. He was a writer. He was fucking about his business or whatever, right? So this guy now gets arrested and is facing 6 years. He's on bail right now. 6 years for being up an active gang member. Ugly. Dude told on him like a motherfucker. Yep, he did it. Now, I'm not saying all active gang members are like that, but that dude in particular was, all right? Hey, that let him know that homeboy from his neighborhood he shouldn't have never been striving with. Now he has to go face the consequences and it sucks, right? He's going to get locked back up. It's going to be like he was out there seeking and hunting actives, and that's the narrative they're going to go with. And he was just going to Walmart to get him a Suzy Q or a fucking a mud pie. And he had to mud pie someone. Now, let me explain to you guys something. When I first got out, I was fucking with this chick, right? Around that time. And she had a court case. And so she was like, let's go to court. And mind you, again, I didn't know how to conduct myself as a non-active gang member. I still was mobbing around town, riding in Lolos. Like, fuck it, bro. I'm not in the mix, but I'm still living kind of like it, right? Unfortunately, my mind was still clouded. And I hadn't took the initiative to admit my wrongdoings, to admit that I just wasn't cut from the cloth and that I needed to move on. But anyway, so I go with her to the, we park right now. Mind you, the courthouse where we're going is right across the street from the police station. So there ain't nothing going to happen there. God forbid that something happens there, right? And we walk up to where the calendar is, the court calendar is like in plexiglass and you can see behind you. And I see one of my little homies behind me. When I say little homies, an adult, but he was a homeboy that I considered a little homie back in the days, right? His brother is my homeboy. And so I see him, right? And he's standing right behind me and automatically I flinch up like, fuck this, right? So he's talking to his chick behind me and I'm with this chick and she looks and she's like, fuck, man, I got court. This dude's going to fucking get off, right? She knows me or get down, right? And so this is a true story. I turn around. I'm like, what's up, homie? He's like, oh, what's up, bro? What's up, man? The homies are tripping on you and shit. I said, is that right? Are you tripping or what? No, I ain't really tripping, right? And I said, are you sure? Because, fuck it. I'm right here, bro. I don't do that behind the back shit. Like, I'm just right here. He was like, no, I ain't even tripping like that, bro. We go way back. You and my brother Turtle, you guys are fucking homies. All right, cool. And I go to walk away and he tells his lady, hey, that's a dropout. And I don't know why that made me mad, but I turned around and I said, I thought you ain't tripping. He said, no, I just call it the way I see it, bro. Don't get mad. Slapped him in his mouth. I said, don't get mad. I'm telling my brother. fucking tell your brother, stupid. 3 months later, his brother was a dropout too, so I wasn't tripping. Anyways, with that being said, man, this guy needs to stop going to Walmart and stop getting in fights because it's all bad. I am going to try to interview him. If you guys want me to do that, hit a 1 and we'll make that happen. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head, though. Where's the crown? I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly and honestly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. This video right here is sponsored by Barrio Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the Turlock area, pull up to the Barrio and get you something cold to drink. Also, by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. If you live in or around the Tucson, Arizona area, make sure you Google Sticks and Stones if you need yard work to get an estimate. And let's get up out of here. Bang, bang.